You never know what you'll find in the universe of my mind. Hi! Today is Sunday, February 18th, 2024, and that means it's the first day of the 100 Days project for this year. And I debated whether or not to do the project this year. I debate every year, and I'm finally decided I'm going to do it this year. However, I'm going to be gentle with myself. I'm going to be easy on myself. And I'm going to say that they don't have to be 100 consecutive days. I'm going to try, but if my life stuff and my technical issues and my whatevers happen, then I will allow myself to just get back to it whenever and resume, just as long as I do something for 100 days. I will consider myself a success with the project. And what I've decided to do for my project is a tunnel book. I think that's what they're called. I'm not sure. All I've done so far off camera is that I've rounded the corner on the cover and on the first page. And now I just have to figure out if I want to do an alien world, a fantasy forest, or a mermaid's theme for my book. So, as you can see, this is a Canson mixed media, and this is what I usually use for my art journals. And this will sort of be an art journal, but it's going to be, well, the project. Now, there are only 60 pages, I believe. That's what that means. There's only 60 pages, but what I intend to make like little interactive bits and things. Like, I won't be working on the pages every single day. Plus, I also don't know if I'm going to film every day. I might, but I might not too. So, yeah, we'll see how things go technically and whatever. Because I've been having technical difficulties. That's one of the reasons why I've been missing in action again. MIA. One of the reasons. Okay, so because I can't make up my mind right now, and because it's time to make supper, and because of this and that and the other reason, I think that I'm really going to start my project tomorrow. But just so that I can say I did start today, what I'm going to do is just give myself a frame. Okay. 2 centimeters border around here, and that'll be my guideline to get started tomorrow. I did start because I did make my border, so there. That's day 1. I know that's not very good, but it's what I have the time for today. I finally made my decisions. So yesterday, it was one of those kinds of days where I just couldn't make up my mind, and I just didn't know and stuff. However, I did finally make my decision, and so yesterday kind of counts, even though I didn't really do much except for this guideline. I got started, so I got started, and I made some plans, and I made some decisions, and I was, my brain wouldn't shut down, so I had trouble sleeping last night because I had all kinds of ideas. Now that I have the decision made and I have the ideas, I'm actually kind of excited about this project. So here we go. It's day 2 of the 100 Days project. I'm probably going to combine day 1 and day 2 in the same video, and I did not make my decision about that yet, whether I was going to film every day or not. But yeah, Soma on cue is here because I'm talking to you. Meow. Yeah, meow. Okay, so I'm gonna actually get started on this. Oh, and by the way, if you hear some strange stuff in the background, I am doing laundry. And also the furnace makes some strange noises from time to time. So yeah, it's been a while. And it's mostly because of technical issues, but also because of, well, I guess I said that on day one, so I don't really need to repeat myself again and again. But yeah, technical issues and life stuff like to get in my way. But I heard a song in a movie the other day. Here I go again, and one of the lyrics in that song is, and I made up my mind, I ain't wasting no more time, and it really resonated with me, and it's like it's a message from the universe that I should stop wasting my time on things. Okay. So that's one tree, and then I'll make another tree. Have a frame of trees. Yeah, I'm not very good at talking, and I can't, I'm not good at multitasking, I guess is what I'm saying. So, yeah, I don't even know if I needed that guideline I made. I guess I just wanted to not have the page so weak, because I'm going to do a lot of cutting. So yeah, and I don't really have anything to say. And I don't know how much of this process you actually want to see. Actually, not sure about these. That weird high-pitched noise, if you hear it, is the condensate pump, a furnace thing or something, I don't know. Anyway, okay. Okay, now I'm there. That's good. Right, and we want these to connect somehow too, because we don't want. I guess that's kind of why I had the. Okay, there's gonna be like So those don't need to be quite so big. There. Okay, so right now I'm going to use a pen that is out of ink to make some detail on the bark on these trees. So you're not going to really see anything here, but I can barely see it, but I do see it enough. Oh, I guess I didn't say, my plan is to go with the fantasy forest theme, because that way I can kind of incorporate everything in the same thing. Okay, that's good for that. Choose my colors. Probably gray, bluish gray, and almost black gray. I'm not very good at things like scale and perspective and etc. So my proportions and well, scale and that stuff is probably going to be way off, but hopefully I'll have something that looks kind of decent by the end. I do plan on spending some good time on this and trying to do things in a good way, but it's still art, so I'm not going for photorealism or anything like that, because I don't have that skill. Okay, let's get started. I think 50% French gray. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the cover yet, so I just put it on the... I'm going to leave it until I do figure it out. Okay, so this layer, it doesn't really matter much what direction I'm going in, but I'm still kind of paying attention to some degree, but this is the first layer and it doesn't really matter a whole lot. I decided, and I'm not necessarily following my drawing to the exact lines and everything. Yeah, like I said, I don't know how much of this process you actually want to see, and I don't know if my technical issues will allow me to edit heavily and stuff, so we'll see what happens. We'll see how things go. We'll just take it a little bit at a time. But these pages are not going to be done in like 5 minutes. It's going to be a while. And the further down I go into the book, the more that's true, because there will be more area to cover. I need to sharpen again already. That's the only thing about Prismacolor pencils. They are very fragile and they get used up fast. Awesome in pretty much every other way. When it comes to... You were solid. What is the deal? So as I'm coloring, you can kind of see the scratchy details that I put in with the inkless pen. But yeah, the darker, that technique works best with darker color. Now I'm going to go in with this one. This I think it's called Slate Gray. I'm not sure. It's so small now that the words are gone, except for the number 53. This time I am paying more attention to the direction and the form. Like here, I want it to look rounded, so I'm kind of doing that in a rounded. Really want to figure out a better filming setup. But for now, this has to be good enough because it's what I've got. But yeah, so I'm paying attention to the direction that I'm coloring in. But I'm not concerned about covering every little detail because it helps with the texture, because it makes it look rough, and it has more variety because I'm not doing it perfect coverage. Okay, now I'm going to put just a hint of the jade, and not everywhere, like just in a few spots. Okay, more than a few, but okay, that's good for that. And then I'm just going to do some shading with the almost black 90% warm gray, I think it is. I'm not sure, 100% sure. But so for my shading, I pick a side. I almost always choose that side just because that's what I'm used to doing, and it makes it easier for me to figure it out. And then I don't just make a line. I kind of. Sometimes when it's like this, it's kind of hard for me to figure things out. But I just do whatever I think in the moment. But yeah, I pick a side. In this case, left side, and just do the shading bit. Now, this tree, I probably am not really supposed to put the shading because the other side of the tree is not visible. But it's too late now. I did it, so there you go. And again, I'm kind of paying attention to how I'm applying it, because I don't want it to just be a flat surface. It make it look like it's rounded. Now in the details that the inkless pen made, I kind of see a thing here, so I'm going to bring it out. And I see another one right there. So, because those two look like they're stumpy things, I am going to ginger root and put some ginger root on the end. And then maybe laundry signaled. Gotta go tend to the laundry. Maybe some light umber for all the details. Okay, and a little bit darker on the bottom. Okay, and I mean, you could go if you wanted to make trees, you could go crazy and put lots of that sort of detail, put an extra branch or a twig or whatever, wherever you want. Make it look bumpy and not necessarily like it's a straight thing. And so here is one of those examples where I'm sometimes not really sure. Like, I probably went up too high, and the shading should probably be closer to this area here, because of the way it's because of its angle, it makes it hard for me to figure out sometimes. Now this one has another branch in front of it, and so that would, if they're in front of each other but not touching, then it wouldn't make a shadow, but if they are, then it would make a little bit of a shadow like that. But anyway, I don't know how well you can see. I don't know how to zoom in and out with this camera, so what you see is what you get, basically. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's not the ideal setup, but it's better than what I had before. Now, I'm tempted to put all kinds of branches, like branches and twigs, small ones, but I'm not going to, because that will make it way too hard to cut out, and it'll make it too fragile. Stuff. And I'm purposely making it so that it's not a straight line. And I mean, I have fun. I could spend hours just making details. And putting nooks and crannies and protrusions and things. I shouldn't have put that away near my. So when I am working on a project, I tend to leave all the colors that I use out until the project is finished. But this is going to be 100 days. I don't know if I can do that, because if I want to do other things. But then again, probably won't have time for other things, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I should just make myself notes what colors I use, but then that would take forever. I don't have that kind of patience. Because I want to get creative. And you can change the thickness of it too by how you apply the shading. Because if you make it wider, then it looks wider. If you make your shading wider, it looks like it's bigger around. Put a couple of things here and there. Okay, I'm going to call that done for those. Now for the path part, that's going to be a mixture as well. I will have to turn the video off again soon because it's lunchtime. Anyway, so I'm just making some random marks with my inkless pen again. That'll do. Then I'm going to use dark brown very lightly, and I'm kind of going in a circular manner, and I'm not really I'm going lightly. I'm not pressing very hard. And I'm not concerned about covering everything extremely well. Then I'm going to do the same thing with light umber. And then I'm going to use sienna brown, which is more of a yellow. And I'm just kind of making hash marks. Not really hash marks. Just making lines, basically. Going in all directions. And, oops. Then with a Faber-Castell, I think this is olive green, but I'm not sure because I don't see the color words. Anyway, it's a green, and I'm just going to do something that looks kind of like grass, but lightly. So I'm making basically I'm making lines, but they're going upward, but it's okay if they go a little bit sideways. It's actually a good thing if they do. And I'm just, again, I'm not trying to cover everything perfectly. And going over the trunk bits, the roots. Can't really see it, but still makes a difference. And then I'm going to use a regular pencil to intensify the shading in a couple of places on the ground. That'll do. Just put a bit more of this grassy stuff between the roots and over them. And pressing a smidge harder for this part too. Okay, I'm going to call that good. And I'm going to show you this because it's kind of neat looking. It's all the bits from the colored pencils, Prismacolors. Mostly Prismacolors, some of them are not. Anyway, I just have a collection of them because I think it's kind of pretty. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off until I've had lunch. And I'll be back.